Bishop Persico, members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Iwanenko, members of the Deus Party, members of the administration, faculty, staff, families, and friends and supporters of today's graduates, and most of all to you who are graduating today, I want to say that it is truly an honor to be here. To the Gannon class of 2024, congratulations. You are the ones that we are celebrating here today. We're here to honor all of the time and hard work you've put into your Gannon studies, the ways in which Gannon has formed you as a person and has molded you, and the ways in which you have impacted and transformed Gannon. This university is different because of what you brought here, because of what you have done here, because of who you are. We are celebrating the lives you've led here, the friends you've made here, the laughter and, yes, at times, the difficulties you shared here. Most especially, we are celebrating you. Even more than all that you've done and the accomplishments you've achieved, we're celebrating you, the persons you have become. We're proud of all you have done, and we're even more proud of who you are. You've certainly had an interesting journey getting to your graduation day. You began this journey coming from over 30 different countries, from multiple faith traditions and languages and cultures. Your unique diversity and many gifts have enriched the Gannon family. And who can forget that so many of you, as Dr. Iwanenko and others have mentioned, weathered through the pandemic during your time at Gannon, having to look into a screen to have your temperature taken just to walk into one of the buildings on campus, practicing social distancing, and all of the countless other hurdles you had to overcome. But you banded together. You met those challenges head on, and here you are today. Proud graduates of an even prouder university. You can rightly be proud of all you have accomplished here at Gannon in the classroom, in service, in athletics, in leadership. The university has challenged you to excel in integrity and faith and honor and commitment, and you have accepted that challenge. Gannon has positioned you well to go out into the world and make a difference, not just to enter the larger world, but to engage it, transform it, to cultivate the values that distinguish this university and its graduates: honor, commitment, virtue, faith, service. You will do amazing things. I have no doubt about that. And that leads me to my other point. In wondering what to share with you today, I was having trouble pinning down exactly what it was that I wanted to say, and so lots of different thoughts kept floating through my mind, but I couldn't exactly put my finger on it. So I decided to take a poll. I began with my family and friends a month ago when we were all home for our eclipse party. I think there were a few of those on campus too, probably. So at that time, I asked them if they could share a single piece of advice with a graduating college student, what would it be? I took a poll. And then when I got back to Kalamazoo after the eclipse, I asked others there the same questions. Now, the answers I got back were quite diverse, but here's what some of them said. These are little one-liners. Keep your eye on the prize. Don't hesitate, go for it. Your mindset matters. Don't worry about the small things in life. They always have a way of working themselves out. God, family, country, in that order. Always look at the big picture. Be open to whatever God is asking of you in life. Bloom wherever God plants you. Have hope. You are worth much. Let God inform your choices. You'll save yourself a lot of heartache. And lastly, find a mentor in your life and a career, and then learn from that person's wisdom. A sample of what the community at large would share with you today. And then, of course, there's those very familiar words of wisdom that are written on the outside of Palumbo Hall. How many times have you passed by and read the words, "Be transformed by the renewing of your minds"? It's a quote from St. Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. But do you know what the rest of that quote says? That's just a piece of it. It goes like this. Do not conform yourselves to this age, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and pleasing and perfect. So I'm guessing that if I had had a chance to talk to St. Paul and I wrapped him up in my pole, that would be the piece of wisdom he would want to share with you as you are graduating from Gannon. So that's what lots of other people said. But it brought me back to my point. What would I finally settle on? What do I want to share with you? And it is this. You'll do great things in the years ahead, I'm quite confident. But know that you already have everything you need. You already have everything you need to accomplish the greatest work you will ever achieve. You have your heart. You have your heart. I'm not talking about the anatomical organ beating inside of you right now, pumping blood through your body. I'm talking about your capacity to love. Your capacity to give generously of yourself to another, for another, both when it's easy and when it's not. Your capacity to live nobly, to do what is right because it is right and not to need any other reason for doing so. To be able to sacrifice for a greater good. To be able to see beyond the immediate to the bigger picture. To understand that in the end, the way of selfless and generous love, is the only decent way to live. Over the course of your years here at Gannon, you have known well this university's deep conviction, rooted in our Christian and Catholic faith, that following the example of the crucified one, our Lord, when love gives all it has, it conquers everything. And so, my friends, as you begin to build the next chapter of your life, go do great things for our world. But remember that of all the profound contributions you will make to society, to your field of endeavor, in your careers, in your communities, and friendships, and in your families, and you will make great contributions, remember that the greatest work you will ever undertake is love. I sometimes like to stop and remember that there are still lots of places in the world, where people live profoundly beautiful and meaningful lives and never travel more than an hour from the place they were born. The true measure of the beauty of our lives isn't measured by what we possess, or the things we've done, or the places we've been. The true measure of the beauty of our lives is measured by how generously we've lived and how deeply we've loved. The depth of our love is the treasure stored up in heaven, the only thing we can take with us from this world to the next. Everything else will be left behind. I am convinced that the only question in the end that will really matter is, did he love well? Did she love well? That's the thought I want to share with you today. As you go forth to transform the world, which is a part of loving well, as you go forth to transform the world, you already have everything you will need to accomplish the most important work you'll ever do. Gannon has nurtured that in you and has strengthened it. But the seed was planted long ago by those who loved you. You have your heart. And the people whom you love, and the people who love you will be what matters most in life. And so go do tremendous things. Transform the world, or at least the part of it entrusted to your care. Bring the Gannon spirit to bear on all you say and do, a spirit of honor and faith and commitment. And remember that your heart is your greatest gift. In the end, the true beauty of your life will be measured by how generously you've lived, how deeply you've loved. Go do great things and love well. In conclusion, just a word of gratitude, very deep and sincere, to this university for all that it gave me as a foundation. 40 years ago this week, I was right there. Gannon has formed you well, and you have helped to form Gannon. Dr. Iwanenko and the Board of Trustees, I am deeply honored by the doctoral degree conferred today and for the invitation to be here. And I am deeply honored, my dear graduates, to be with you and to call you fellow alums of Gannon University. Thank you.